Good evening, everyone. What you're seeing in the background is the nightfall. It's a little after 8 around here, and we're overlooking the ocean and the lights along Fisherman's Wharf and the city that rises above in the distance. I wanted to take a few moments to just express something. I was out in the community most recently, and something that I saw really disturbed me a bit. And I just want to address it in light of so many differences in opinions and things that we've had recently. There was a small group of people who had Bibles and signs that listed the 12 tribes and broke them down to associate with 12 different nationalities or cultures, or like the African American, the Northern African American, the Southern African, the Native American, and all these sorts of things. Like I think the tribe of Judah was the Northern African American or something like that. But so I approached one of the persons who was with this group to kind of have an idea, and I asked him, where did they get this information? And they said, it's in the Bible. And I said, so could you show me where? Because I've read the Bible many times and never really been able to decipher, the nationalities that way. And so he was saying he immediately went into expounding that the Israelites were God's chosen people, or the tribe of Judah was God's chosen people. And I says, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to put something out there for you. I says, I'm a mother of 3 children, and I don't really have a favorite. I have 3. And all 3 of them are my children. I don't put one over the other. I said, so can you explain to me how a loving God who would create such wonderful, glorious diversity would single out one single one of them and say, this is my chosen one? And I began to walk away. Of course, he was calling me back to engage. But I just wanted him to think about that. And I want to put that out there for all of us. As long as we are concentrating in the stew, okay, as long as we are choosing to remain in the vibration of separateness, okay, we cannot find our way even to the vibration of love, which brings us unity and oneness. I tell you all the time, people, even the Quran says that God will not change the condition of man until man changes the condition of his heart. So changing the condition of his heart, I seem to need to tell us now how we could perhaps go about that. So if you abide in love, and love abides in you, then you come into the unity, the fellowship, the oneness, okay? So, I'm not going to say, can't we all just get along? The diversity suggests that we can't. I have 3 children, all 3 sons, alpha males. And what I've noticed is the only thing that separates them in the unity from what they have as a common denominator is me as their mother, and the love that I have for all of them. But the only thing that suggests in reality that there's any difference, or that I may favor one over another, is their individual perception when they're in that vibration of separateness. When they all come around my table and we're all together as family, we laugh and talk and love as one, and we are all one. It seems so simple in the natural, from my mother's heart. Why do we seem to make it so difficult in the spiritual? When God, our love, that unifying source, would be even so much more sensitive to all of us. So I'm not going to say, can't we all just get along? But I will say, can we all look at the condition of our heart? And let's shift the vibration from separateness. Let's call it uniqueness. Let's call it diversity. And in view of all the things that are put in our face to show us our mess and the conditions of our hearts and the yuckiness that we can get into, let us indeed challenge ourselves. It's an individual work, people. It's self-awareness. Look inside of you and see where you have separated yourself from me. I have to look inside of myself and recognize where I separate myself from you, because it is quite likely that the thing that I see in you that perturbs me the most is the thing that I would detest within my own self. For you, my darling, are merely a reflection of me. And I intend to be the reflection of the love of God manifested in the earth in the flesh. And that is what I desire to see when I come upon your presence. I want to see that reflected back at me. I want to see it twinkling like those stars in the distance, way out there, with the love that is in your heart for yourself and then for me. Let's change the conditions of our hearts. Good night, and I love you all.